the signal for Tux and Vorwin to drop down. But as he says that, he's got a partner in crime going down. Nepsi cannot go parallel to Tux. Vorwin still has it, though.
This is huge, too, because he didn't have many builds, and that Elim gave him a ton, so now he can actually go try and meet back up with Vorwin, see how things are going. And, I mean, Tux and Vorwin, they're playing out of their minds right now, but look at everyone down below. So you got a few people in Ballers.
Jo, Leute, herzlich willkommen zum neuen Livestream hier auf meinem Kanal. Wir gucken jetzt die Finale bei Fortnite. Let's go. Der Alter. Der baut schon schnell. Heftig als ich. So schnell kann ich nicht mehr bauen, Alter. Der hat bis 9 Gegner noch. Nur 9 Gegner noch. 9 Gegner.
Doesn't go. Oh, yes, he did go in, but not going to manage to do it. Finds Rasco regardless, and now his teammate as well.
Ja.
Kubex too, as they drop down all together, but it's now only
7 Gegner noch, 7 Gegner.
Gaggle of players down below. I don't know if they're going to be able to all survive. Right now, Fremont does go down, and it's now Tux and Vorwin against Edwin on his own. Tux goes down and already finds the shot.
Hat den Spiel gewonnen, 2 vs 1. Ja, tanzt. Best Friend. 7 Kills.
For them to realize, like, look, everyone's down below. They're all fighting on that low ground target. Let's just hang out in the sky. Let's just do what we do best. Wait this out. And of course, everyone like fish in a barrel comes to them. But look at this. Stompy and Shaken here. The little thin pancake. Belongs in my heart forever. I mean, these guys, I don't know what else I could say about these guys. Like, the fact that they've been on top of the leaderboards weeks in a row. You've got to think this is a favorite going into Fortnite World Cup Finals. You have to.
I think, you know, I'm looking at everybody using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup and all the predictions going in for New York. All the different personalities starting to make their opinions known. Everybody is putting Stompy and Shaken way up there, if not first and second, because they are dominating week after week, and I think we are
heftiger Shit. Er geht raus, er baut.
Honestly, I think this might be the first time we've seen them. And you know what they do in that game, Suki. It is crazy, clinical Fortnite.
They absolutely terrorize the lobby. They just, everything they do is about how
haben die auf 1000 Maus-Dings gemacht? So schnell kann ich nicht bauen, Alter. Ich kann nur 90 und Spider-Man kann ich nur.
Like when they do find an opportunity, they pounce so hard and so fast, and you have no time to react, and they just come from multiple angles, just like this. Stompy from above, Shinken on the bottom, and he already takes down 1 carries exactly. You see Shinken switching to him right now. He actually can get right behind him, and he finds it, but does now need to make sure that nobody is going to take advantage of the fact that Stompy is down. You can see immediately editing him down all the way because he needs to change position. Everybody knows they just got an elimination in that box. And I think Freddy and Snag right here are going to see if they can take advantage here. They're definitely getting the loot, so maybe that's enough for them.
I think they're going to get the revive off. And don't forget, Shinken actually has a Chug Jug in inventory, so he's going to be completely okay. He passes it over to Stompy. This is good. Now they have
ja, machen sie.
This is where
da trinken Chug Chug.
Crazy, right? Because we saw the duo up above.
What schon?
If they decide to challenge,
Da ist ein Boden. Da ist ein Boden. Zwei sind oben, 2 sind unten. Papi Freddy. Alter, sind das viele Gegner im Endgame.
They're going to move ahead. Ooh, a nice little short launch there by accident even, but I'll take it if I'm Stompy.
Absolutely. And just to reiterate your point, you know, these guys are playing at the highest.
Kann es sein, wenn ich jetzt mit meinem Freund jetzt spiele, kann es dann sein, wenn ich so schnell baue, ich habe 50, warte, ich habe 60 FPS, wenn ich so hier spiele, ne? Und ich habe 4 Kills. Mit meinem Freund, der hat 2 Kills. Und danach ich baue richtig schnell und dann habe ich 50. Und hier ist 80. 80 und hier ist 50 FPS. Was ist das? Leute. So, jetzt gucken wir weiter. Der eine ist down, 2 sind down. Der hat 2 Kills, sein Freund hat 6 Kills. Die haben, heißen die alle so? E12. Alles so kalt. Mein Controller. Was? Muss ich mir vorstellen, Alter.
Shingen had to stop for just a moment to get that many up. He's got the shadow bomb, but I don't think he wants to use this right now. He gets cracked from behind.
Genau so, wenn ich so runtergehe, wenn ich mich in Highground gehe und unter mir ganz unten auf die Erde, so da gehe ich so wie der Typ runter. Was? Der hat 3 Kills. Nee, er hat nicht so viele Mets. Einer von Sturm getötet, einer von Helm mit Headshot, einer ist down. Ich krieg ja Augenkrebs. Das sind 80, das sind 60. Er hat den, also 5 Kills, er hat 6 Kills. So, schafft er noch die 2 Kills? Ist er schon wieder Finale. Hier hat sich gerade nichts verändert. Oh. Da unten. So Leute, jetzt kommen wir wieder. Er hat 8 Kills, er hat 18. Nicht 18. 6 Gegner und 5 Dudes. 5 Gegner. Er hat nicht so viele Mats. Er kann nicht irritieren. Da drin ist ein Gegner. Er findet ihn. Er hat ihn!
I'm gonna lose my freaking voice after today. I'm telling you right now.
Was?
And to Shingen are putting on a show. The European Qs.
Dabei bin ich doch nicht mal so gut.
It's a free for all right now. Also, Pewds goes
Teilnehmer.
from up above.
Es sind nur noch einer. Du musst den schaffen. Los! Er wird sterben. Er ist tot. Er hat ihn. Es sind noch 2 Gegner, hä? RPG.
Wall in front of him using the chug splash and the campfire. I don't think it's going to be enough because the player up above probably has.
Er wird zeitiger sterben. Er hat einen epischen Sieg. Ja moin. Oh, ich muss meine Maus wegmachen. So. Auch dann noch den Schrecken-Emote. Bei Sloppy Springs haben die gebaut. Alter, müsst ihr euch mal vorstellen, Alter. Jetzt bei der Nähe von Vulkan. Ja. Er hat eine Falle. Sein Teammate hat einen Kill, er hat 0 Kills. Hä? Der ist doch anders. Der Teammate. Wie doch nicht. Da stand Robert 12, oder? Er kann nicht sehen, Alter. Oh. Hat einen Jump, sein Teammate hat einen Headshot gemacht. Jetzt muss er nur noch finishen und den Gegner noch töten. Komm, los. Ja, los! Er hat ihn! Er hat 2 Kills! Sein Freund hat 1 Kill. No. Hat er den alten Text-Trick gemacht?
And because of that, they're all looking around. They're not paying attention to the fact that they're not covered. They're not paying attention and listening.
Leute, ich komme gleich.
They have a sniper coming in or just a pickaxe even from one of the most obvious locations.
Leute, wer reinjoint, abonnieren nicht vergessen. Macht die Glocke aktiv. Also verprügelt den Like-Button und abonnieren nicht vergessen. Leute, ich komme gleich wieder. Abonnieren nicht vergessen. Kuss geht raus aufs. Den grüße ich ab Ende. An Ende. Oder so. Tschüss.
On finals day, very rarely you see that happen. You see eliminations be picked up toward the end, right? When you break that placement barrier and then you're like, I'm just gonna catch people making late rotations, but that's not been the case today. You can tell players they're ready. They are so hungry. They want those tickets.
You can almost feel the pressure that they're feeling, that they're playing with, right? The high eliminations, they have to go for it because it's all or nothing right now in this moment. There's only 4 spots left up for grabs in EU. That isn't much out of all the players who are playing and out of the top 1,500 that made it from semifinals to today.
That's right. Remember, we recently saw the highest point value we've seen is 66. So we know that's like, we'll say top 10 at best right now. But look at everyone in the sky all hanging out. May have been a rift to go, a community launch pad, a potential guy. Yeah, the vents are right there over by the hot spots. And right now, Alphen, Mark, they're just chilling, trying to find more eliminations. Any at all would be helpful. They find one.
That stink bomb coming to great effect as players start to make all their rotations, and there's a perfect opportunity to use it because, as we saw, there were so many players in the sky, and those players in the sky are all going to end up being low because of everybody else looking right up at them. So a good opportunity for a lot of people to find eliminations there. They're going to opt to rift as they start to get pressured and as the 7th zone starts to move.
This is going to be a little bit weird, right? Because remember, we're fighting in that biome that's like forest, the big tall trees. Depending on where we go, they could potentially land on the top. Let's stream Vato there in the bottom right corner for just a moment. They're in this game, and remember, they are looking to qualify. Wolfies and Rojo, we saw them earlier, right? They were in top 5. Yeah. They're still here with 65 points.
For some context, when we first checked in on the leaderboards, it was Wolfies and Rojo who were in the top spot, but they did get overtaken by Vato and Skype, so this might actually come to a head. Those 2 teams facing off in this game. Here's Wolfies getting in that box. He's going to take out Jachu from behind, but his teammate coming through with the trap, not going to be enough because Wolfies, the quick edit's going to go back on top of him and does find the elimination. Precious goes down. Even using the turret there, I mean, I'm wondering if that was a panic or an accident, but it's going to work out perfectly because if anybody was playing down below, he actually doesn't have to spend a cone there. It's not going to go down. It gives you extra HP on that floor.
And look, dude, they're still in this. Sky and Vato, they're in that middle ground tarp. They're actually going toe-to-toe with Wolfies and Rojo right now. This is the duo that they're fighting. So look, they actually have 70 points. This is now the new highest total we have seen. So it must be another 2 points coming in. They've hit top 10. The next threshold they're looking at is top 5 ball. That's coming down to the wire.
And you can see how careful and calm they are playing. They're making sure that they spend the time to use their heals, use their items, because if you don't use them, you're going to lose them. And finding one that's Drivig who goes down, and they're still pushing for that top 5. They're still pushing towards that victory royale and looking really good while doing it.
I thought that was Wolfies and Rojo. I thought with my heart of hearts. I believed it. And look at this. Watch the top left. Rojo finds another elimination, so you know he's alive and kicking. They've hit top 5. 75 points over on the Lestream duo. The French-speaking community's got to be losing their minds. Up above, you got Mark and Alphen.
Leute, ich komme gleich wieder. Ich muss Essen machen.
Where is Rojo? Where are they in relation to each other? This duo right in front of them very well could be them. Or it could be Alphen and Mark. It depends. I want to see this hide wide, man. I almost want to see a 3-box. I got to know with my heart.
Well, the trap going in there is definitely going to de-incentivize Sky and Vato to go in, and there we can see Mark and Alphen up top. Wolfies and Rojo down below. They take out takeoffs, and now it's all time to go right down. They know it's the situation, but Sky gets taken out right away by Wolfies, and they're still fighting. Vato goes out. Rojo and Wolfies take the win there, and they're still going. There's only 2 players remaining. It's a 1 versus 1 right now. Low HP though, and Smoke, Mark, and Alphen are going to come up from the top and clean up house.
That was insane. They ended with 77 points. That extra 3 points would have probably helped get them to that 80 threshold and just help build that lead. But this is absolutely insane. I think, well, for now, we got to send it back in the studio. We got to meet up with Pookie. We got to see how things are going. So Pookie, let's send it your way.
Thank you so much, Zeke. I am here in the studio. Those games are absolutely wild. EU is, like always, not disappointing, that is for sure. But I am joined with my good friend Sundown. He has got some clips for us. I know you got a little bit of Stompy. Can't wait to see that. Show us what you got.
Yeah, let's actually jump in right here with some of the duos who have been popping off so much today in the last spot. First off, we have the VAR duo of Refscar and Hackscore being able to put a ton of work on the mid-ground. So first, you can just see catching the players who are trying to rotate through, putting the legendary infantry rifle to work, finding Comey there, but watch what happens on the rest of the mid-ground tarp. It's one thing we talked about, being ready to fight at all times. Catches Booth right there, 0 ping, won't save you as Refscar, then immediately edits around, checks another angle, gets the cleanup on Idrakil. That wasn't his knock, but the materials that he ends up getting from that was huge. But Hackscore is then covering the other side, is able to get the other part of the Valhalla Vikings duo, and now they're going to work. Benji Fishy, one of the best players in the world, going down on the backside, brilliantly done, and Hackscore picking up another one on the Impact Fixie, fragging his way into the top, but wasn't able to close it out. Tux now, on the other hand, was a one-man wrecking crew here. Just watch him going to work on the backside of the storm and putting the combat shotgun to work. I mean, for me, you can tell he's got adjustments there with how Tux is just lasering people. And then that shot was so good, catching Nipsey in shadow form as he dropped down around the side, and he wasn't done yet. Again, we've talked about the power position that is the high ground. When you're able to work from top down, close the bottom of the store, and Tux and Warren just close out here, making sure he's faced through the floor to get Edwin. Now, we've seen a duo trying to qualify. Here's a duo who has already qualified and are potentially one of the best in the world for this part of the competition. Now, got the trade off there. Shinken gets the revive onto Stompy. He's sitting currently at 4 elims. They're on 6 right now, but let's start counting, because Stompy is going to go to absolute work, and this is just catching people in rotations and being aware. The quick double right away pushes them up to 8, and that was Melside too on the backside of it. Now they're up to 11 because Shinken was able to go to work, but the revive on Stompy ends up being the difference because he's able to push through. Finds Mashoes right there, now up to 12 as a duo. You will see Shinken go down on the backside there, so Stompy is just going to continue being a one-man wrecking crew on the tarp, up to 13 as a duo. Heavy snipes his way in, doesn't slow down, and continues pushing the pace, picks it up there, but unfortunately wasn't able to close out for the victory route. Stompy putting on a clinic, showing why he's able to contest for the very top. Now, as we talked about, the queues are closed, but we're not done yet. We want to see those final matches and what's left, Boops.
For sure. Now, interestingly enough, I had the opportunity to speak with Stompy the other day. You know, we exchanged a little bit of back and forth about how he's feeling for World Cup. Him and Shinken are practicing 12 hours a day. They are going into this hard, and from what we've seen, it certainly shows. But you know what? I can't wait to get into more games. Zeke and Bala, let's hear from you.
Pookie just flexing all over us right now, talking about how she's talking with Shinken and Stompy. That's cool. I also talk to players. No, it's not.
Don't cry on us now, but
it's already cried 6 times. That's a 6. All right, Fortnite fan, we are back.
And we're tuning in with Pyro and Destiny's Jesus right here. Destiny's Jesus is definitely somebody that's been on a lot of people's radar because, you know, we all learn from this guy. Everybody's watching his videos because every single day it feels like he's coming out with a new technique on how to box fight or how to build fight. His partner Pyro right now, they're slightly split. We'll see if they're going to be able to find any picks on the way in. Do find Wolfie. It's not Wolfies that we saw from the other game. So just to keep that in mind right here.
Different Wolfies. So let's reiterate. We did not look at standings. But we know like 77 points is the highest we've seen at this point, right? So for Pyro and Destiny's Jesus, especially with maybe the last few games, they've got to make some really big things happening. Right now, Pyro is saying, don't even worry, fam. We've got you. We're going to pick up eliminations left and right. They've also hit first round of placement points. This is going to be super, super beneficial for them.
Yeah, and when I said they were split, I didn't actually realize that they're not even split at all. They just kind of have two different angles here that they're approaching, finding picks right here. Destiny Jesus looking down that south side, and Piro looking over towards the east. And finding those eliminations, not only does he have those, but he's feeling comfortable because he's finding those picks, getting the siphon, all that. They're getting themselves healthy, but he has 2 rip-to-goes as well in the inventory as Carnage is to go for heavy snipe. Oh, that is why you kind of need to make sure that you're not going into these situations, these end games, with low white HP, with low health, because if you don't have any bandages or anything like that, you're not going to be able to recover that without siphon, right? And if somebody is carrying, by chance, some stink bombs, and they realize, hey, I can go ahead and throw this on this box and get 2 people ticking down at the same time, that's value from that stink bomb, and also finding elimination because he was low, too low to even survive even a tick from it.
And I mean, they made it very known that what they were trying to do, right? The first heavy snipe came in and blew the wall out. At that point, you gotta just build a wall, re-edit your ramp, and then just like move a 1x1 space back, right? A grid space back, because you know what they're trying to do. And you gotta expect, I did not expect that. Another stinker here, and this is what I'm talking about, right? You already see the players trying to get away from the stink bomb there, but in a similar fashion, you gotta be ready. You gotta think, what could they have at their disposal? They're trying to pressure us right now, especially in this position. We've got to be ready for a stink to come in. But right now, Carnage going to look to reposition. Pretty good spot right now on this far side of the circle. Now just waiting.
Heavy snipe comes in, the tree's in the way though, and I don't think there's a player directly in this box who might have thought because the tree was in the way that
they were hiding behind.
Yeah, exactly. When the sound is there, you kind of hear the sound cues, you know that there's something coming. But regardless, oh!
There's the player!
He comes in from the side. They both headed into the same box from different walls, and that's going to be the end of probably both of those duos, unfortunately, because they're fighting right on the edge of zone and with walls ahead of them as well. They're not going to be able to make their way out that easily, and a lot of players are going to realize exactly what's going on. But look how high Vapors and Yuto are right now, and we're already down to 12 teams in this game, Z.
I mean, they've got the builds, they've got a flint knock, they've got a chug splash, just a single one if they need to get crazy. They dropped out in the box, the first shot misses 125. And Land gets destroyed there. The chug splash gonna help top him off. Unfortunately, look, his dual partner Yuto up above has been dropped, so now it is all on the shoulders of Vapor. They have 3 eliminations between them, so they've got to chain together more if they're looking for more points. Thankfully, the Storm goes back the opposite way.
And look who actually took high ground from them. It's Destiny's Jesus and Piro, who we stuck in with before, and he still has that GL that he's been using the grenade launcher from range, finding himself one before, and actually going to find another Rift to go. Not going to be that useful right now, but that GL is going to be, because they are having a free roam range right here up on top. They can throw this GL down in so many different cracks. And did he get it in that wall? Yes, but it's not going to find any damage. Actually, somebody fighting for height right now, but with those build fight tactics that he's been working on, he's going to go ahead and crank right back up and not let him take it. But in this case, does end up taking it. The chug splash coming in. Ooh, a Rift play. This is kind of all or nothing. They might land on Alpha and Blaster right here. No, they're going to go out and scoop back out of the zone, but no, Piro landed, and Destiny's Jesus didn't, so a little bit of miscommunication right here. Is Destiny's Jesus going to be able to maybe knock this out? Because I know Piro has something. He does find Blaster, so is he going to actually take this team on head-to-head right now and possibly put themselves in position to win this game? Destiny's Jesus making his way right back up, and this fight is for all the marbles. The spam coming in from below, and that's going to be the end of Blaster and Alpha. Piro and Destiny's Jesus took the high ground.
This is so huge. All he had to do was buy the time for the siphon to come through, and that's exactly what he did. Look, Alpha dropped all the way down. He was like, look, you know what? That entire fight is lost. And now Destiny's Jesus and Piro can rejoin. Down below, Pablo is going toe-to-toe with Alpha. And look at this, Suicide Mark as well. He gets traded out. And now Pablo is in a 1v2.
I think actually Destiny Jesus just knocked a few GLs down there, but he falls to his elimination right there. He gets knocked, and right now Piro's making the slow climb down. It's now a 1v1 as Alpha goes down, but Piro takes out Vapor, and the Victory Royale puts them at 63 points to win that game.
Man, so don't forget, we've seen quite a bit of points. They very well could be contesting for top 5 right now, and that would be absolutely huge. But of course, more games, more action to tune into. We're over by Tomato Temple. Look at it. All hail your tomato overlords.
Well, right now, just a recap of where we're talking about in terms of standings. You said that the highest points that we saw was what, 77?
77.
So
that's the highest we've seen so
Destiny's
far.
Juice's Imperial at 63 or maybe 64, depending on how that updates with that last elimination. They could be pushing up towards not necessarily qualification range just yet, but another one of those performances, and they very well could be. Remember, though, the queues are closed, so that could have been the last game that we just watched there. But here's Rennick takes out Mitro. And his teammate Vermax is already down, so Mitro himself did not have his duo partner Mongrel, but we already know their prowess. They've, it seems as if they've qualified multiple times for duos already, Mitro and Mongrel, so they're not worried about that. Obviously not getting a chunk of that $2 million that's spread across all the regions. But again, talking about the scores and the standings, right now you can see Frenzy and Ads are already kind of tied with that last team that we saw.
Yep.
So possibly
and if I remember,
up through this game.
If I remember, it was Stomping Chichinkin, right, that had 77, if I remember correctly. It's honestly
probably
so much action.
If that's an assumption that we're trying to make, I think we can go ahead and make that comfortably.
I think what I was also going to say in regards to that is that don't forget they've already qualified, right? So even if they're sitting at that #1 spot, that shifts the entire standings down, all right? So not 1 through 4th that are going through, but instead 2 through 5th will be going through. But right now,
and that's a story in and of itself.
Yeah.
Stompy and Shinken, they have done it every single duos week. They have done it every single duos week. They have not missed a beat on making sure they're up in the top spots every single weekend.
Man, to get and be able to get that kind of practice, right, and to keep doing it. One thing would be first, all right, then we've hit at least maybe top 10, but no, these guys are hitting top 3
the value
back to back.
Stink bombs right now, Zeke. I think he's going to get both from this last one. I think this is going to do it. I think his HP is going to be gone, but no, not throwing it all the way ahead, but he's going to find the AR shots regardless. So Ghosty and Jamif falling to he actually still has 2 more stink bombs right here. That's crazy.
And don't forget, these get more valuable as the circle closes, right? Because remember, this is the space of, or I guess the stink cloud is a little bit bigger than a 1x1. So as that circle continues to close, you can really be putting some people in really tough spots, especially when you're basically just saying, the entire play space you're in right now, boom, I have dealt it, you're smelling it.
Classic Zekeism right there. He always gets the last laugh. But moving into the rest of this game right now, it's Zeke and Narcos on high ground.
I really got to reach out to Zeke here because we have the same name, and every time Sundown is on broadcast and says his name, I look and I'm like, wait, did you say my name? Does he need me? Oh, never mind. It's just Zeke and Narcos. Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, always on high ground, always winning games, something that Zeke is not familiar with.
Dang it, I was going to make the joke. You beat me to the punch.
But Yarkos and Zeke are certainly familiar with it as they take high ground and hold it against Kaspersa, who tried to take it from them. Yarkos is qualified in solos, not just yet in duos, but we'll see here if the Polish duo can do it, can qualify for New York. They're at 57 right now. We saw a couple of players that were ahead of them in terms of points in this game.
Right.
So everything matters. Remember, every interaction counts. I think he has another opportunity here to knock down, but no, they're not going to take it. They're going to decide time to back off. But as that branches out more and more, hold on, because Hadkos falls directly into somebody's box, and I think that's going to be the end. Yes, he falls to the zone because that player takes advantage of the, distraction that he had up on high ground and knocks him out from below. No, it's Frenzy and Ads that I was just kind of referencing in terms of their points. At 66, they take the high ground, Zeke.
Look at this, 67 points now. They're trying. Now, don't forget, we saw, again, 77 is the highest we've seen so far. They're 10 points in striking distance, and that's if that duo was in the #1 spot. So you've got to think, again, these guys are contesting for top 5. We've seen teams literally sit here and trade places, and if they hit top 15, this
He was with Boy when we saw them win the game earlier.
And look, dude, they jump up to 81 points. They hit the top 15. Those first 3 points are so crucial. Look, they're just waiting it out, right? This lobby is going to continue to thin itself out. Zeke, my boy, unfortunately gets picked up on another round of placements. 83 baller, 83. They could very well clutch us up and just be the point leaders.
This could be it. Skite and Vato could finally, after 10 weeks of trying, after 4 duos competitions, all those weekends finally paying off, possible here for Skite and Vato. We've seen this exact situation play out in that game that they got all the way towards the top 5 last time with a lot of eliminations racking up as well. They're playing slow, and they're making sure that they're going to get that ticket to New York.
And if you watch the top left, Vato, unfortunately, he gets traded out. He's gone down, and he gets picked up by FaZe, Borwin, and right before that, I was going to say, Mongo gets picked up. Skite dropped down to 18 HP. In his mind, he's probably thinking, this is his moment to shine in the sun, down to 8 HP. He has to make something happen. Even just hitting top 5 would make the difference right now, Bala.
And I don't even think all these builds are his. You can see, as soon as he got into the next box, he frantically makes but it's Tux who took out Vato earlier. He uses the stink bomb at the opportune moment and takes out a few more. That's 7 eliminations total. Borwin's still up, though, so he still has an opportunity to make this work.
Oh man, eliminated 6 there, just on the cusp, but it's okay. Again, that's now the highest point value we've seen, even in game ads. Look at this, 75 points right now. These numbers are getting out of control. Borwin down in the lowest ground, he's going to be dropped.
Break through metal, though.
He's got to fight Sensei. He's got to get Sensei. He's going to jump down. No, he's not get the trade out. Ag right now has the health advantage. Frenzy and Sensei, look at them both. They're so hurt that the storm is continuing to tick them out, and it is not enough. It's Ag and Frenzy.
Man, Zeke could get 79 points. And that could be 80 because I know that elimination counter is slow to update towards the end of these replays. It could be enough, and that could even be possibly their last game, or they could have gotten one more in before these queues. I mean, Zeke, this is coming straight down to the wire here in Europe.
Oh my goodness, man. Of course it would be like this for the final week. It's been like this every, periodically we've seen moments like this where we've seen players edged out at the end.
And I gotta, Vato and Skite, man.
Yes.
In 6th place in that game, not quite making it to 5th place. That could come back to bite them in a terrible fashion. It could be heartbreaking for them, but we go ahead and catch up with them later in the standings and see where they all end up. Here, Thomas and Kuja finding one elimination this game, and again, we're looking at the point range of 77 was that. But as we saw that last game, it pushed over that 77.
So don't forget, they're at 83 points when we last saw them. So right now, if you're looking at Thomas and his dual partner, Kuja, they could very well contest that 83 points that we saw, right? It's only a difference of 6 points. That's making it into top 10. Top 5. With a few eliminations sprinkled in there, man, I do not want to see Skite and Vato get edged out again. They've come so close so many times. This has got to be their week, and you've got to think they're thinking the same thing, right? They're like, it's all come down. We put everything on the line. We're playing our hearts out. This is our week to qualify. Just keep your head up and keep positive.
And let's not forget about Tux and Borwin there in that last game as well. Contesting with Skite and Vato, actually taking them out.
Right.
First, Vato ends up getting split, and Tux takes advantage of that. And then the skate bomb coming in at the perfect moment. Skite not having any white heels. We talked about it earlier. So ending up edging them into that top 5 and finding some eliminations on the way, too.
Probably kicking themselves, thinking if we had made that top 5, it would just help ensure that our placements were very high. But right now, the current game, below here, this dual partner, Artemis Sneed, they're in top 15. Don't forget, that first round placement points is great. But they're at the 39th threshold. They've got to make more happen. Don't forget Thomas and Klusha, they're sitting on 77 if I remember correctly. The question is, who else is in this lobby? What other big names can we scout out?
It's not just big names, but anybody who's up at the top of the leaderboards right now, because as far as I'm concerned, Thomas and Klusha are the subjects of this game as far as we've seen so far. Obviously, everybody else getting the action. Berloof here, we've already seen them pick up one. They picked up another. Now, are they going to be able to find the elimination here? And they're holding them in zone. They can actually probably get this. Definitely the knock is going to be confirmed.
Oh, he's taking a shot for the AR. He's going to get blue damage numbers over. Here we go. Eastler there gets picked up, but Vegas coming down to the wire. This 14 number hasn't quite changed. Top 10 is the next threshold. They're coming down. They got to start building down. Did they drop?
Probably just a little bit of damage there, or, started using the glider. Redeploys, yes, the rift comes out, actually, for Berloof, but I don't think he took his teammate Sweet with him, no. You see only a little bit of white HP missing, so see, maybe I'm going to make a play right now. No, he's going to decide I want to join my teammate, and Sweet has a perfect hole for him as he edits him down through it. It's Thomas and Kluja on high ground, by the way.
Yeah, this is a game, they need to close this game out, right? Like, we know for a fact, again, in case you just tuned in, that was the highest threshold we've seen for points. Kluja and Thomas, they were at 77 not that long ago. They're about to hit top 10, which is another round of placement points on top of any eliminations they picked along the way. Down below, though, Sweet and Artemis, Sweet, and Berloof, I hope I'm saying that correctly. They're making things happen. They've got the 6 eliminations. They want to try and rack up as many as possible, but they are so far behind right now.
And I've got to criticize the use of that second Shadow Bomb there instead of getting into the box. Maybe a misclick or something, because now he doesn't have the rotation to stay with his teammate Berloof, who does have one more Shadow Bomb remaining. They're going to have to path in and walk it in.
Right now, again, top 10 is another round of placement points. Everything is going to slow down. Santo is single, unfortunately picked off right there at the edge, missing out on those points. I want to go back up top, right? I want to see what's going on with Kluja. I want to see their points right now. Berloof, Sweet, he's dropped down to nothing. Anyone could accidentally sneeze in his direction and he could get picked off. Someone finds it. It's Detox who's going to be picked off in the crossfire there. Now Sweet, again, he's ticking. It must be within a stink bomb, and he gets traded out. Berloof does. But Sweet, look, his HP jumps up, so he must have found elimination.
A second before, if that player doesn't come from behind, he actually gets the siphon and probably survives there.
Yep.
So everything coming down to these milliseconds decision. I still haven't seen Thomas. Yes, they finally got one elimination from up on high ground. Sweet starting to use that campfire to its full effectiveness here as the zone starts to go back in the other direction. 5 duos remaining, 7 total players.
Oh, and Thomas gets picked up. That puts Artemis Sweet in the top 5, another round of placement points. So does that mean, that must mean they both have been eliminated? Yes, they are both gone. Right now on the high ground, you've got a player, and everyone else is super huddled together, because don't forget, this play space is just shrinking right now. Stir6, his dual partner Twix, is alive. They find Sweet, who gets picked off.
I love the placement of that trap, though, and the quick reaction from Sweet to actually edit his cone in a certain way so he can make it out unscathed, but still, 4 duos remaining. One player drops behind. They're all the same skin for some reason, and Stir6 is going to be able to find him easily. So that duo down on low ground by themselves right now against 2 more players, Julian and Oxy right here.
And down below, Styrix and Twix are the only duo left. They immediately shut down Oxy. They're like, one player's pushing us, just let's cooperate, let's shut this guy down, and now they're in a 2v1. Gooden here is going to have the fight of his life, and he's on the 64 points. We've seen a lot of players hovering in that range. This could make the difference if he can find both of these eliminations and the victory royale. 5 points could make the difference. He gets cracked, Bala, down to 23-13. Oh my God! Oh my God! That was the sickest split knock I've ever seen!
That could have been the sickest split knock I've ever seen, because if he got that elimination and landed, he could have gotten the siphon and all of a sudden forced this into a 1v1 with HP advantage. But unfortunately going to go out into the zone, not able to control himself with the flint knock. Just like Zeke here, a little bit of excitement there from that play.
I'm melting in my chair. I'm just slowly sliding down. I'm trying to collect myself, Fortnite fan, but it's not working right now. Next game, 62 players, 34 duos, still sliding down. 85 points from Rojo and Wolfies? Okay, guys. All right, listen.
So they were slowing down when we last took a look at the standings when I was up there with you, Zeke. They were slowing down. They fell out of that first place. They're starting to creep down to that 6th, 7th. We were talking about whether their games have been played yet, but climbing back in a strong fashion here. They've got one more game, and at 85 points, if they make this a big one, they could break 100 and almost guarantee themselves a spot to New York.
They have shifted gears, shifted mindset, and have said, we need to punch our tickets. We need to be on the stage of the World Cup Finals in New York City. Right now, they've got 3 eliminations between them. Don't forget, top 15 is the round of placement points. They are halfway there. They've got to play this smart. They've got to find these few eliminations, like this one player roaming around. Oh, my God! Elite gets picked off, another elimination heading their way. And look at this, they're just looking to confirm eliminations, beam players as they can, while being as safe as possible, because look at all the resources they've got available to them. Shadow bombs, chug splashes, the combat, minis, they've got it all. They're looking to make this, Bala.
It's kind of crazy. I actually thought that he had an infantry rifle in his hands, but no, it's actually a heavy AR, which you don't see used too often anymore because of the effectiveness of that infantry rifle at long range. But you can't, you got to take what you get, and maybe he even prefers the heavy AR because it does have, you know, a bigger clip in it.
Yeah.
Not doing quite as much damage, but up in the top left right now, we're not only looking at the thresholds reaching top 25, but Mr. Savage goes down in this game. Not too consequential because he's already qualified for New York, but that's another hint that they're probably not going to be making it up there and taking those top 4 spots.
That's right. Don't forget they've qualified, which means right now they're playing for money, which is great. So you got to think they're trying to find eliminations. Den Magic Pulse, by the way, someone tweeted at us. That means the magical sausage. You're welcome. The more you know. More shots coming out here from Ollie is cracked. He did not manage to crack that player's shields, but the shots were pretty on point, and he's, of course, 761 above the damage threshold for the Storm. There, Motor, for just a brief moment, peeks out, and Ollie finds and secures it.
I think he might have also hit Motor's teammate, Barox.
I believe he did.
As he jumped out of that box, I'm looking at Wolfies and Rojo right now, carpeting their way towards the zone. They're going to go ahead and decide to launch pad. They use that, you know, tarp for a second just to get ahead of everybody else, make sure they're not gonna, you know, hit their heads and waste the launch pad effectively. But here, Benji using those chug splashes to immediately get back to max health, starting his turtle forward.
And the fish out of water here, I mean, the duel of these, you know, we kind of, it's funny that you said we may not see them in top 10, but look at the point threshold.
I know.
They said, look, Bala, we're Savage, we're Benji Fishy, bro. Don't put us out. By the way, four rounds in the AR, only 4.
And Zeke finds actually 2 players who didn't edit their box close. He's going to take out Black. And his teammate as well, Stoico, going down, and that's probably the end of their run in the World Cup.
Benji literally just said, Zeke, I don't care about these 4 AR rounds. Watch me pick up the double, and now I'm sitting on 300. Check me again, bro. I'm a fish out of water. I can breathe in fresh air. That was, in case you didn't see that, that was a thing at the summer block party, which made me laugh, by the way. Go back and watch those little interstitials. They're fantastic. That's what I was referencing. But 86 points over on Wolfsies and Rojo.
Yeah, and he's actually in trouble here as the Shadow Bomb. This player actually doesn't realize, though, he's going to take a nice shot onto Mawaka, sorry. As Wolfie's making his way forward, Rojo is split, but we've seen this situation before. Again, reaching towards that 90 points right now. One more elimination is going to do it, but Rojo goes down, and it's all up to Wolfie's right now.
All right, here we go. So Rojo gets picked up. But now, look, they've just hit that 90-point threshold. So let's think about this, right? If Wolfies could clutch it up by himself, he'd have to at least get the Victory Royale, which is another 7 points, and at least 3 eliminations. There's still 10 players. It's doable.
To get 100, is that what you're
to break the triple digits. Yeah, I want to see the 100. I want to see it because you know they want to see it too.
Well, I mean, based on what scores I'm seeing already spread out throughout the map and the games that we've seen, I think he's already probably clinched it. But you know, he's thinking, I have to perform the best I have ever done here. I have to win this game if I want to make it, because I don't have high ground. I don't have a teammate. I've got to do everything. I've got to take all this responsibility on my shoulder, all the pressure from all 10 weeks, and do it right now, Zeke.
That's right. And you got to think they're probably saying, like, just imagine this was you on the stage of the World Cup Finals, right? Imagine you're in that moment. Take everything, all the practice, the long hours you put and dedicated to this game and focus it and hone it in right now. Wolfies, he's got 3 eliminations. Again, 94 points. If he could find 3 more eliminations, it's not enough. Confetti trades him out and shuts him down in that moment. And now it's coming down to this. It's a 2v1.
Confetti and Toos. It's kind of crazy because we started World Cup in week 1 in semifinals. Toos playing in solo is actually destroying the semifinals, and now here again, ending EU. Is he going to be able to pick up this win? It could propel them up to 71 points, but it's going to happen. Ollie goes down, almost makes a hero RPG play onto Confetti. My heart dropped for a second there, but that really could be, you know, a story from the start to the finish, Zeke.
Yeah. This is, I think, the only fitting thing now to do. I'm stressing out of my mind, but for now, let's send it into Pookie. She's in the studio. She's going to break down what's going on.
Thank you so much, Zeke. You know what? Go get yourself a sandwich. Go get a drink of water. Calm down. I was over there. You were stressing out for sure. I am joined here with Sundown. Those games are absolutely incredible. You always putting on a show. Never disappointing. Speaking of that, don't want to bring up who's going to be disappointed or excited, but we got to look at the standings.
The final standings, the last four coming out of Europe. It's been so absurdly competitive, and let's take a look. Punch some tickets going through. Wolfies and Rojo taking the top spot. Stompy Tashinkin, Benji Fishy, and Mr. Savage don't know how to share. They're still hanging out. Had already qualified, so that means it shifts down. And we got Skype, Invato, Vorin, and Tux, and then Klusha in Singularities. Thomas HD taking up the spots, 1 point separating the difference. Going through there, saw it going down. I mean, this is nuts. So many players who we've seen. Klusha getting the double qualification going through. Shinken and Stompy not knowing how to stay off of the top. Huge runs from Sky and Vato, as well as Vorin and Tux. And then Wolfies and Rojo just dominating at the start of the day, kind of falling off, and everyone was saying, oh, can they stay up there? A huge last-minute surge, $20,000, a trip to New York City, Pooks. That's massive.
Congratulations to everyone who has qualified for World Cup Finals in New York in July. I cannot wait to meet all of you, but we have some business to get down to, Sundown.
Time to punch some tickets, right?
Yeah, we got to punch those tickets.
All right, let's get the top one right there. Congratulations, Wolfies and Rojo.
We got Skype and Vato coming out of the stream. Am I doing this one?
Yeah, you can get that one as well. Split it up 2 and 2, and then get Vorin and Tux. Such a great job from Tux there. We saw a number of his plays. Vorin as well clutching up in the end, and then rounding it out. Klusha, by the way, in Singularity. Thomas HD. Congratulations, all of you played so incredibly well. It was a great day to round it out. But again, hey, first of all, to even get to Sunday in Europe, it took 67 points in a victory royale. Like, if you were playing on Sunday, you're among the best of the best there, and just because your name isn't up here doesn't mean you're done. There's always going to be more to play for. There's always more there. And speaking of always more competitive Fortnite stuff, we recently actually just launched our own dedicated Twitter to all things competitive Fortnite. You know, let's just throw it on up there. Go ahead, give it a follow as well. It's twitter.com/FN competitive, and I mean, there's always a way to get involved. We're going to be highlighting plays, we'll be doing breakdowns, we'll be asking you who your favorite players are up there, so keep an eye on that. And then let's also see what is up on the social wall and what players had to say up there. Boom, right on up there, and then everyone saying welcome to Twitter on there. Let's go. People being excited about it, and look at that. I love the Sharks just slamming the like and the retweet button.
Nice. I love that. Cutest graphic I've seen on this wall thus far. Can we just talk about Evade Orange's tweet for a second? The only Twitter I need. Could not have said it better myself.
Well, he needs his own there to interact with it as well.
That's
but
true.
I mean, just
you know, potato. That is what it is. But yeah, guys, if you're not following this Twitter already, please go and give it a follow. I'm following it. I know Sundown is. Tweet to us on there. We'll be replying to stuff all day today. But you know what? I feel as though, you know, we've seen a lot of games coming out of Europe today. You know, we've seen a lot of people, you know, punch their tickets. Congratulations to everybody so far. I cannot personally wait to get into the next set of games. So before we do that, we are going to go to a quick break. Do not go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll have more Fortnite action.
Let's fly down to the lobby. Let's fly down to the lobby. Let's fly down to the lobby to get your squad some nums. Burgers from dirt to munch. Tacos Royale with crunch. Red juicy's a tasty treat for Lil Whip, Peely, and Pizza Pete. Let's fly down to the lobby to get your squad some nums. Let's fly down to the lobby to get your squad some nums.
What's up, Fortnite fam? Sundown here, and today we're going to talk about the Tactical Assault Rifle and its addition to competitive play.
The tactical assault rifle is probably one of the best additions to the game. It's a long-range weapon where you could save AR ammo if you have a drum gun.
Small bullet you can find everywhere, so it's a good weapon.
The tactical AR is an uncommon, epic, and legendary weapon that utilizes light ammunition and has a high rate of fire. It does 22, 23, or 24 damage depending on rarity, has a pretty fast first shot accuracy timer, and a dope reloading animation. I mean, come on, just look at it. We've seen a lot of competitive players opt into using the tactical assault rifle over the course of the Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers. So let's hear from some of the players who qualified for the finals and get their thoughts on the TAC AR's addition to the game.
It's really good, like really good. Once you get to endgame scenarios like 5th zone and beyond, it absolutely beams. It's very viable in meta right now. Everybody's been using it.
I like it because you could actually sneak up on someone. It has this low sound, so it's hard to hear.
It has its viability due to its first shot accuracy that can make it really strong, and the fall off damage isn't as strong as it was for the silent SMG, which got vaulted.
I reckon the gun's awesome for endgame because if you've got height, that gun can really get a lot of eliminations because it's like a laser, and people endgame tend to have less HP than they would towards the early and mid game. So I think it's really strong in situations.
Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on the tactical assault rifle, and when do you like to use it? Send us your opinions using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, and I'll see you on the battle bus, or maybe on the high ground with a TAC AR.
Fortnite fam, did I beat you in rock, paper, scissors? Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. I probably did because I'm really good at it. It's the only thing I'm good at ever. But guys, we are knee deep in the World Cup.
give these guys a little coverage and celebrate just how awesome at Fortnite they are. Now, a fun fact about both these guys, 7 matches